right, let's talk about New World because we were talking about like playing some New World this week, and this weekend they announced that season 1 had needs to be delayed. Now, right now, the tentative date that they've listed is for for Thursday, March the 30th. So not an insane delay. However, one of the things, like I was telling we're hanging out playing New World in Discord this weekend, and the one thing is I was kicking myself because the content creator in me, by like Wednesday last week, I was like, I think there's going to be a delay. And the reason is that all of a sudden everything got whisper quiet. And when things get whisper quiet, that's me going, they're crunching. They've discovered something. They're all hands on deck. They're working on it. They've paused marketing. They've paused the information flow. They're focused. And we didn't hear anything Thursday. We didn't hear anything Friday. And then Saturday when the information dropped, I was like, not a shocker, but dadgum. If nothing else, I wish I would have tweeted it out going like, I bet there's going to be a delay, guys. So there was. And I have to say, like, as somebody who really loves New World, who really is a fan of this game, I'm both happy they've chosen to delay because every big patch update has been married to like a nasty bug that is like, yeah, okay, sorry guys, we gotta, I know you're having fun, we gotta slow it down, we gotta fix this problem, right? Oh, hey, should I come back to New World? I hear there's an update on Thursday. All right, I'm ready to jump in. Oh man, like, why is this, oh man, not another bug. And if nothing else, like, despite my love for the game, I have to say, like, the two things that I can right now count on with the team is that there's going to be a delay and there's going to be bugs. And that just seems to be an unfortunate narrative that they have cemented in the last year and a half of updates. And it's unfortunate because no matter what, like, people will look at that and they'll be like, all right, I'm going to write it off. Even though that I do actually applaud them for finding it, having the ability, because marketing is its own team. Like, there's all these teams that are all trying to do these things in relation to the bigger, broader story now of AGS with other games. We're waiting for Throne of Liberty. We're waiting for Blue Protocol. We're waiting, like Lost Ark's all out there. So you got like all of these different pieces that you actually can control. You don't want to step on your own, your own message. You don't want to sit here and be like, hey, we got this. And by the way, we just also in this other team have now completely taken that hype away. But I texted you. I was like, hey, by the way, change of plans. We're still going to talk about New World on Tuesday, but now we're going to talk about it in terms of delay. And ideally, though, we're able to release this on Thursday. But how does this make you feel overall as somebody who is playing New World and has essentially kind of been a part of these update cycles, but not as obviously like a diehard that I am?
I mean, I had planned to play this week. And so, like, if I had been somebody who had, move things around, right? Imagine I moved around childcare or canceled an event with a friend on tonight to play, and told them to screw off. I'm playing New World, and now all of a sudden it's Thursday, and so like I kicked them out to Thursday, like this sort of thing. I missed the WoW launch of Shadowlands for this exact reason. And so, like, the bitterness is real, and like, just because it's the good call doesn't mean it has to feel good. Like, they were sitting in a room with a series of bad doors. They had to pick which bad door they want to go through. They could have released it in whatever crappy state it was in. That's not good. They could have delayed it until it could be better, but then it's a delay. That's not good. Like, there's no good options. All the choices we made to this point made this the best remaining option. And it is what it is. And sometimes it's outside of your control. The problem is when it becomes a trend. When it's a one-time thing, Final Fantasy has had some patch delays over the years. They are the exception, not the rule. A lot of that is because the number of patches they have is very, very large. When you have a game that does, like World of Warcraft, that does 3 patches per expansion, if you miss one, it's kind of a big deal. But Final Fantasy does 10 patches per expansion. They have their main patches and their half patches, and some of those half patches are substantial. And so they have 10 opportunities to remind people that they're good at this. And so when one falls through the cracks, it is what it is. And we swallow it. And so and they're rare. So what I would say is, like, I don't know what to tell you, right? Like, if you have a friend that makes a bad decision and life doesn't work out well for them, it's fine. But if that friend keeps doing that, at some point it literally gets to the point where, like, they're like, yeah, guess what happened to me that went wrong this week? Like, I don't want to hear it. Like every time you come to me with a problem that's self-inflicted, like you want some sort of like, am I supposed to just be like, yeah, it's really great? Because like nobody else is having this problem. Like everybody. So at a certain point it's you. And so like like it's fine on its own. It is what it is. But what I will tell you is like, you know, as I started to get more invested in the game, as I start to have goals in the game, if this happens this time and then it happens with the next season, and it happens with the next season, what it means is then they're going to have some like, okay, we're coming out of the patch at the end of the quarter, and it's going to make this big thing. So we have great quarterly, monthly active users at the end of the quarter, right where we want it. They won't, because players like me will go, cool, you scheduled an update for the 28th of May. Great. I'll probably set aside some time in like June or July to give that a shot. I don't want to set aside time in May because it's not actually going to come out. And then if it does, you're going to be like, well, where'd everybody go? I don't trust you.
Right. That trust is continually tested. And that essentially at some point you're like, all right, you got to earn that. And that's one of the things I felt like New World devs have been working on, is earning that trust. And like the devs, the head is like, he always says, we feel like we take 2 steps forward, 1 step back with every update. And we're working to not have that happen. We'd like to make it, if nothing else, 1 step forward, but ideally 2 steps forward, no steps back. And I think this is obviously like that. It sucks, like that's the right call. And here's where it gets fun. The rumor and speculation is that it's my fault.
Yours?
Mine personally.
Ginger Prime?
Ginger Prime's fault.
Are you that big?
No. But I have been on a campaign in terms of feedback about the season pass model, and they've implemented that feedback as
you weren't the only person with that feedback. It wasn't like they were like, I
was the most visible person.
Is the Ginger Prime response. It's like it's not like it said that in the patch notes.
Right.
Many of you had some feedback on the way the Greatsword was working, and we changed that. And Ginger Prime had some feedback on the season pass. So we've also implemented, you're getting
Gingers,
hundreds,
man.
if not like thousands of feedback reports that probably all say the same freaking thing.
Right. So we'll get a little bit more into why in the but again, like this is something we're all kind of joking and laughing about. But I do have to say though, like from a Ginger perspective, like this is not related to this podcast at all. Just kind of like, if you guys like, we need to have some like just workshopping open mics in Discord. I literally want to create an entire like 5-minute comedy bit that is all about me being a vampire. But so anyway, just stay tuned. I've been writing a lot, trying to come up with lots of little things, but that's the only thing is like gingers. Anyway, on that though, so I was the one who has been talking to the devs specifically. Like we've been reaching out through DMs and then in the forums. So there's a lot of me and them going back and forth on this. They've implemented that feature. It's really great. This is the XP having some value in regards to the season pass. So what you're doing is you're generating 10,000 XP per, and then you get 25 seasonal XP for every 10K player XP that you gain. And so it's not confirmed whether or not this bug obviously was my fault, but like being the most vocal, being the most visible, being the last feature that got added into the PTR a couple of weeks ago, like they're like from perspective, that's where, at least as a software engineer, that's where I'd start, where it's like, yeah, everything was looking good. We picked a date. We publicly set a date. We were okay. We implemented feedback, and then all of a sudden the PTR becomes unstable. So if that ended up being the case, everybody, a formal apology if you schedule time off work. But as an important note, that especially if we're talking about New World, you shouldn't take time off work. And we're going to say this now because New World has an expansion coming out this fall. And no matter what, hype is a hell of a drug. And I'm going to like advocate that nobody takes time off work unless we start to see at least like a year of them delivering content when they've scheduled it publicly to deliver the content without any masterful issues.